Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into something that, let's be honest, touches every single one of us at some point: personal transformation. We're going to talk about the architecture of renewal, basically a blueprint for how anyone, and I mean anyone, can start building a new life no matter where you're at. So, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like it's just too late to change? You know that feeling? Like the ship has sailed, or maybe that everyone else got this huge head start and you're left behind. It's a heavy thought, for sure. But you know what? We're going to challenge that feeling head on.
Because here's the core idea, the foundation for everything we're talking about today. It's never too late to begin again. It sounds simple, right? But it is so powerful. It doesn't matter how old you are, what's in your past, or where you're standing this very second. That chance to renew yourself, it's always there. So let's make that our starting point.
Okay, so where does a huge journey like this even begin? You might think it starts with some big dramatic moment or a perfectly detailed plan, but it's not. It actually starts with something way quieter, something much more personal. It all begins with a little bit of awareness.
Really, the trigger for any kind of change comes down to one really honest question you have to ask yourself. Am I actually happy with my life right now? I mean, you can't fix something if you don't even admit it's there, right? And listen, if your gut answer is no, that's totally okay. In fact, just recognizing that, that's probably the most powerful first step you could ever take.
So, once you have that awareness, what's next? Well, now you've got to build the engine that's actually going to drive this change. And that engine, that's your mindset. Think of it like the operating system for your brain. It runs everything. And the best part? It's not fixed. You can totally update the software. And what is a mindset, really? It's just the way you think about yourself and the world around you. It's that collection of beliefs that colors how you see everything. It's the difference between looking at something and seeing a brick wall, or seeing a challenge you can climb. And this right here shows the choice we have every single day. On one side, you've got that limiting belief, that little voice that says, nope, I can't do this. It's a total dead end. But on the other side, you've got the empowering belief. Okay, I can learn this. See the difference? That one tiny word shift opens up a whole universe of possibilities. This is huge because it completely reframes how we think about mistakes. So many of us are just paralyzed by the fear of messing up, right? But with this new mindset, a mistake isn't a failure. It's just data. It's feedback. It's a lesson telling you what to try next. They're not just bumps in the road. They're the actual path. So, what's the bottom line here? It all comes down to believing in yourself. Seriously. Before anyone else is on board, before you see a single result, you have to be your number one fan. That belief, that's the fuel for literally everything else that follows.
All right, so we've been talking a lot about the internal stuff, right? The mindset. But now it's time to build on that. Because a powerful mindset is awesome, but it's nothing without action. So let's get into the toolkit. This is how we turn all that thinking into actual doing. The whole strategy really just boils down to 3 super simple rules. First, start today, like right now. Stop waiting for Monday or the first of the month. That perfect time is a myth. Second, build simple habits. We're talking tiny daily actions that add up to huge results. And third, set clear goals. Focus on what you can actually do today, not some fuzzy goal way off in the distance.
And I absolutely love this idea of the power of one. Don't try to do everything at once. It's so overwhelming. You want to get better at English? Just speak 1 sentence today. That's it. Want to get fit? Do 1 push-up. The goal isn't to climb the whole mountain in a single afternoon. It's just to take that very first step.
And this is where you really take your power back. You know, it's so easy to blame our situation or other people for where we are. But the second you take full responsibility for your own effort and your own attitude, that's when everything changes. That's when you stop being a character in your story and become the author.
Think about it this way. You can't grow a beautiful, healthy plant in toxic soil, right? It just won't work. Well, you're the plant. And your environment, the people you're around, the stuff you watch and listen to, that's your soil. It has a massive impact on whether you grow or not.
But here's the cool part. You're the one in charge of that environment. You're the curator. You get to choose what you let into your life. So yeah, actively go find those inspiring podcasts or books. Hang out with friends who lift you up. But it also means you might have to unfollow or mute the things that are draining you. You get to build your own positive space, both in the real world and online.
Okay, we're at the final piece of the puzzle. And honestly,
This might be the most important one. It's all about getting your head right for the long journey ahead. It comes down to two things: patience and being okay with where you are right now.
Just let this one sink in for a second. Every expert was once a beginner. Nobody, and I mean nobody, starts out knowing what they're doing. Every single person you look up to, every expert you admire, they started at square one. Feeling clumsy, feeling awkward, feeling like an imposter. The only difference between them and someone who quit? They just kept going.
So please, give yourself permission. Permission to be a beginner. Permission to not have all the answers. To be a little clumsy. To ask the stupid questions. Being a beginner isn't a weakness, not at all. It's actually a sign of courage. It's you saying, I'm ready to grow. Think of change like planting a seed. The first day, you just put it in the ground. And for the first few weeks, you're watering it every day, and nothing. You see absolutely nothing. It feels like it's not working. But then a month in, you see that first little sprout. A year later, you have this amazing plant. Your own progress is exactly like that. You have to trust that even when you can't see it, deep down, something important is happening.
And this right here, this is the ultimate freedom. Your past does not define your future. All that stuff that happened before today, the mistakes, the regrets, the things you wish you'd done differently, it's just information. It is not your destiny. Your future is a completely blank page.
And that brings us to the biggest takeaway of all. Your future is created by what you do today, not tomorrow. All of your power, all of your ability to change, it isn't in the past. You can't change. And it's not in a future that hasn't happened yet. It is all right here, right now, in this moment.
So, I'm going to leave you with this one question. Not what are you going to do next week or even tomorrow. What about today? What is one tiny, simple step you can take right now to start building that new future for yourself? Really think about it. And then, go do it. Because your journey, it's just getting started.